Hey, so this is the Future Factory delay from Free the Tone. It is a stereo or series delay that they call it an RF phase modulation delay. So it changes a lot of like modulation stuff to get some cool stereo effects, but you can run it in series as well. We're going to run it mostly in stereo today because that's where I think it shines the most, but series mode will let you spill one delay into the other. So there's two independent delay lines in here, and you can choose to run them, like I said, in parallel, kind of in stereo next to each other, or one into the other. And there's a bunch of stuff that you can do. So this is not going to be 5 minutes by any means, but this is to give you some idea of kind of what it does and just the rough sounds that you can get out of it. So, okay. TMG Gatton into a pair of Port City pearls, keeping it real clean today. And so we're in stereo first, and we will start with just, I've got 100 BPM. We've got like a dotted eighth delay on both sides, so it should sound kind of mono, basically, when we turn it on. So digital delay, super clean repeats. You can do a bunch of stuff to change that. So we'll just kind of go. I mean, it does all the basic delay stuff. You know, you got mix, feedback, BPMs, milliseconds. It's got presets on it. It has MIDI on it. You can bypass one delay or the other. You can tap tempo, all that kind of stuff. And then it gets into a little bit. You can turn the dry signal on and off. That kind of covers most of the sections. The first thing, the first box is this soft clipping box where you can make the repeats start to clip and gain differently. They only apply that to one side in stereo mode. In series mode, it can apply to both, but in stereo mode, it only will do delay A, which is the left side, and you'll hear that in a second when I turn it on. Then you're back to straight ahead delay. So that's one interesting feature that it has. A couple just things here. Mix can go to 100, which is it's not 100% mix. It's just like equal level of your delay line versus your clean signal. And then you can change the output level as well for one delay or the other, so you can make one quieter. You can leave it at 0, or you can kind of boost it or cut it with this knob here. Dry signal, you can turn the dry signal on or off for either side, which is cool. Here, you can set trails, like whether or not when you bypass the pedal, it keeps going, which we have it set to on. Can be useful. This one sets the tap divisions. You got kind of your basic. You kind of have to learn what they all mean, but you got eighth note. Let's see, whole notes, half notes, dotted quarters. That's like a triplet in 4. Quarter notes, dotted eighth notes, triplets in 3 or something. Straight eighth notes. There's sixteenths. So you get the idea. There's plenty of options there. And then here you can change your delay time, which you can set to BPM or milliseconds or whatever. Change your feedback and your tone, which you can do. You can make it darker or brighter. And the key thing in stereo mode is that you can apply all this stuff to one delay or both of them. So this has them applying to both. So for example, if I want to go to tone here and make it dark, I've selected to where both of them are darker now. Repeats stay kind of grainy. Now what you can do is you can separate that, and I can say let's make the left delay darker and the right delay super bright. If you got headphones in, you can hear that start to spread out in your ears, which is cool. So let's go back to select both, and let's put them back to, let's do a little bit of grainy. It's cool. This one is cool. You have EQ, you have treble, mid, and bass that you can raise or cut per side. And you can change the frequency of what frequency you're changing for each one of those three. So it's this super powerful 3-band EQ, and you can alter either side of the delay, which is nuts. So let's say delay A, we're going to boost the treble. Delay B, we're going to boost the bass. And listen to the difference. We'll max out the bass on the one side, and we'll max out the treble on the other. Can't fix a bad note. So that's kind of the idea with that. So we'll set that back off to each for each one. Then you've got panning in stereo mode, which is a tremolo when you're in series, but you kind of get the same effect. So depth is kind of like how far back and forth between your ears the signal is going to go. So let's set, and you can set that per delay too, which is just crazy. But let's just say, for argument, let's just max out the depth on both. You can hear it kind of wander back and forth between the two sides. And then if you set speed, that's how fast it goes back and forth. Kind of warbles. And at the top, it sounds kind of very tremolo-y. Cool features there. We'll turn these off for the time being. Okay. And then over here, we've got modulation, depth and rate, which is also that's max depth on modulation. Pretty trippy. Rates how fast. Let's max that out. What? Let's do it. Take the depth down. And then this one is, let's see, random frequency phase modulation, I think. And so that's supposed to kind of let things, you can read about it on their website, but it's basically, instead of being triggered by something constant, it triggers by, like when the signal reaches a certain threshold, it generates like a random way that it modulates. So that's something that's kind of different every time, instead of like always having the same effect, which is really cool. I've never seen that in another pedal before, so that's pretty interesting. So let's turn the depth back up and the speed a little bit, and kind of get all these things working together. So lots that's possible. And then the only other thing I would say is in series mode, when you press and hold this thing, a few things changes. Like I say, this pan thing changes to a tremolo. You can soft clip both sides. You can only EQ one side, side B, to change things. Oh, I left the bass all crazy. Oh well. But then you can get one delay feeding another kind of thing. So right now it's still set to eighths on both sides. Some kind of long tails on the one side. But you can go, if you're changing subdivisions, like let's change B from a dotted eighth to a quarter note. There we go. So you'll hear that. Let's change feedback to be the same on both. So anyway, not even touching all the things that it can do, but you can, I guess it touches most of the things it can do. So it at least gives you an idea of the types of things that you can create with it. So that's the Future Factory from Free the Tone. I'll link to their website in the description. And hit subscribe if you want to spend 5 minutes or 14 with some gear. It all depends on how complicated it is, people.